Your school where you can sit and watch this course. Your teacher who can explain it to you. A CD that contains this course. A computer to run the CD on. Electricity supply to run the computer. Your own ability to read and write. These are just some of the things that allow you to go through this course. All these are examples of things that you use to satisfy your need for learning. The things available in our environment that can be used to satisfy our needs are called resources, provided they are technically feasible, financially viable, and culturally acceptable. Resources can be classified based on their origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and status of development. Resources can be living or non-living. All resources that come from living things like forests, land, and sea animals, insects, and human beings are called biotic resources. Resources in the form of non-living things like rocks, minerals, and metals are called abiotic resources. Resources can also be classified based on whether they can be regenerated or lost forever once used. Resources like solar and wind energy, reversible chemical reactions, and physical power, which can be regenerated once used, are called renewable resources. Fossil fuels like coal, natural oil, and gas cannot be reproduced once used. The same applies to minerals that are used to extract metals. These are examples of non-renewable resources since they are lost forever once used. Resources can be owned by a person, a group of persons, a country, or the entire world. Resources like private houses, shops, farms, and plantations are owned by individual persons and are called individual resources. Resources like public parks, places of worship, schools, and hospitals are open to all members of a community. These are examples of community-owned resources. All resources, whether biotic or abiotic, individual or community-owned, ultimately belong to the country. These include all the resources within the political boundaries of a country and till 19.2 kilometers into the sea from its coast. There are still some parts of land, like the icy continent Antarctica, and the vast stretches of oceans, which are not owned by any particular nation. Resources found in these parts of the world are called international resources and are managed by institutions related to the United Nations. Resources like mines, where minerals have already been discovered and production is on to utilize their full capacity, are called developed resources. Vast resources of natural gas and oil are known to exist under the sea near the Indian coast. However, not much of these resources have been utilized so far. Resources that are known to exist but are not being fully utilized are called potential resources. Stock is a type of resource that cannot be used due to the unavailability of suitable technology. For example, hydrogen is present in the atmosphere as well as in water. Fusing two hydrogen atoms can create inexhaustible and clean energy. But no suitable technology exists to achieve this in a practical way. Hence, we can refer to hydrogen as stock. On the other hand, reserves are a resource which is not being utilized to its full capacity, but it can be used at any time in the future. For example, ethanol. Ethanol is an alcohol extracted from sugarcane and can be used as an alternative motor fuel. Resources that can be used today, but are preserved to meet future requirements, are called reserves. Let us quickly look at the classification of resources based on their origin, exhaustibility, ownership, and status of development.